Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Super Pro 9 Young versus McKay. And we start up tonight with a Super Pro AZTEC Royale. If you are not familiar with the rules, I will explain them as the entrances begin. 8 men will enter the ring. And we start off with El Mago, the legend.
Making his way to the ring from Mexico, weighing in at 241 pounds, El Mago.
Like I said, El Mago, a legend, the first of the 8 entrants here tonight. It will be elimination, will be no DQ, and the last man standing is the winner. The last winner of the AZTEC Royale is currently the Super Pro Middleweight champion. So we will have to see if the prestige of winning this match holds up.
You think you know?
Here we have a newcomer to Super Pro Championship Wrestling. He's been signed for a little while. With all the delays and the completely chaotic middleweight division.
From Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 193 pounds, magnificent El
That says that the current state of the middleweight division a little bit enchanted. This is our first time seeing El Curio. And we will have to see if he can make an impression to put himself in line in that stacked but chaotic division that he is welcoming himself into here tonight. This match, of course, a complete open weight affair, not a ranked match. It will not appear on any official records for Super Pro. But this is one of those things when people talk about X Factor. This is one of those things that does that. It's one of those things that will push you that extra little bit, as opposed to the guy right next to you who might have the same record.
And from San Luis Potosí, Mexico, weighing in at 265 pounds, the superstar.
How long have we been doing this? We've been doing this like a year, and nobody has updated this man's weight. I have been saying for like a year that he is not 265 pounds. Why have we not done? Look at that man. He is 7 feet tall and as wide as my house. The man is not 265 pounds. Anyway, Taurus Fire, the Iron Man of the heavyweight division, the only man with 2 matches, or rather 2 losses in the Super Pro Heavyweight Grand Prix tournament because of his status as an alternate, with the unfortunate injury to Marco Zheng, who's no longer with the company, recently signed with Wildfire Pro Wrestling full-time. And there's a bit of story behind that with a certain Casey Coyote. But none of that has anything to do with this match, or Taurus Fire, and I should stop talking about it. It's Taurus Fire, the CWL veteran. Once again, I said the heavyweight Iron Man. He has the most matches out of any heavyweight, the most ranked matches at least, out of any heavyweight in the division. And will that experience, getting comfortable in the Super Pro ring, will that really help him out tonight? Or will it be a case of overtraining? And now we have not seen this man since his, let's call it a persona change. If he ever comes out to the ring. Anytime. There it is. Alex Perez, ladies and gentlemen,
from San Jose, California, weighing in at 217 pounds, the assassin, Alex Perez.
Perez, of course, used to be known as Sicario, Hitman. Ironically, in a match here tonight with El Mercurio, the mercenary. But Perez has since found a bit of a new identity for himself and a bit of a new lease on life and a bit of a more optimistic outlook. And if you're looking at that attire and because of recent events in Super Pro, you're a little suspicious, you're not alone. I approached Alex earlier this season and asked him about, you know, all the dragons on his gear and if he was sort of, that was his way of announcing himself for the dragon cult side of the Kumite coming up. He insisted that this was not the case. In fact, Perez volunteered himself to be recruited as a member of the Super Pro side of that tournament, who we know already includes both Ramirez's. Most of the rest of the roster has not been announced. We know Michael Young is also in that little sect. Doesn't exactly have a team name. Should be called the Super Pro Home Team, perhaps. Perez here looking to prove a point. We have heard this theme before, but for Casey Coyote.
And from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, Dallas Coleman.
And there you hear it, folks. Dallas Coleman, the youngest of the Coleman brothers. You obviously may know him as the younger brother to Casey Coyote, or Casey Coleman, as he's referred to, as he is billed here in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Dallas, a bit of an upstart. You know, not a lot of film on this kid, not a lot of experience, obviously, but not a lot of wear and tear either. That is one of the things that people, when you're a rookie like this kid is, and you get thrust into the spotlight, you get thrown in with the Sharks, a lot of people do not take into account that you have a lot more holes on your punch ticket left than some of these other guys that you're going in there with. I would not be surprised to see Dallas Coleman sling himself body first at whatever problems arise for him here tonight. Speaking of problems,
And from Tijuana, Mexico, weighing in at 204 pounds,
Dr. Wrestling Jr., Jose Antenas, Dr. Malpractice. Here's the thing, he told me like 4 different names that he wanted to be referred to. I'm not quite sure which one he wanted to go with. But regardless, he is a obvious legend of this industry, a legend particularly in CWL, where he's really made a mainstream name for himself. He was always just one of those guys in Mexico, right? Like him, his whole family were always just these sort of like constants, and none of them really ascended to that main event, headliner, selling out arenas type success. Dr. Wrestling Jr., Jose Antenas, Dr. Malpractice, he has done that. He's a former Nemesis World Champion. He is always going to be 1 or 2 wins away from title contention in any company that he walks into. And I do not suspect that it will be any different here in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. If he can get a couple wins together, maybe starting here. Another guy in that middleweight division I'm just saying, it's a weird division, man. We have a champion that's not even contracted to perform for us. I don't know how that works. It's a weird division. Here he is. You've seen him recently.
At 251 pounds, the Super Pro Heavyweight Champion, Yamashita Champion.
Are you done, announcer lady? Are you done? Do you want to say champion again? Okay, anyway. You have seen Yamashita in Wildfire Pro Wrestling. You have seen Yamashita over on Vindication. He qualified for the Gold in the Bag contract not too long ago. But here in Super Pro, here in Mexico, Yamashita is the man. He is the baddest hombre on the planet, bar none. And that heavyweight title that he won in the Heavyweight Grand Prix, the most competitive, strictly heavyweight tournament in all of professional wrestling. I'll say that again, the most competitive, strictly heavyweight tournament in all of professional wrestling. Yamashita came out on top of that as a young boy. As a young boy, this guy has unlimited potential. Now, who tops that? Who's our final entrant that tops Yamashita?
And their opponent
Holy shit!
from Mexico, weighing in at 287 pounds.
It can't be.
A. Parker.
How much money do we have? I'm just kidding. He'll show up to anywhere for not that much money. LA Park is here in Super Pro Championship Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. I have been told to mention that not to DM him about this appearance. I don't know why. Just don't do it. Something about character likeness. I'm very confused. What is this? A fourth wall? I don't do those. Anyway, LA Park easily the longest resume in this ring here tonight, rivaled only by Dr. Wrestling Jr. and El Mago. And we see LA Park going right to the outside, looking under the ring, finds a bat, decides that's not quite its flavor, and there it is. He's got the chair, and he goes for Yamashita. Doesn't get it. Yamashita's having none of it. Turning to the action in the ring, Dr. Wrestling Jr. interacting with Taurus Fire. Honest to God, I cannot tell you if they encountered in their time at CWL. But I'll tell you what they are encountering right now. As I say that, LA Park putting down Yamashita with a chair shot to the ribs. And now going after Alex Perez. El Mercurio having none of it. Chair is now a non-factor, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute chaos in the ring right now. I think that's everybody except for El Mago in between the ropes right now. As I say that, of course, towards fire. Throwing Dr. Wrestling Jr. outside. Perez and Yamashita go at it before LA Park inserts himself. And now it's the two legends as LA Park and El Mago go at it. Apparently there were some sort of copyright disputes with the El Mago mask being too similar to the LA Park mask. I don't see it. LA Park has a skull on his mask. And, you know, that's way different. It's a way different mask. Now going for that kick to the gut. Two men in the ring. That is the only place the match can end as El Mago goes to the top rope. Frog splash. And that could be all she wrote for LA Park. He may not have been here to work very long. But he's right back up to his feet. Eats a Hurricane Rana for his troubles. Gets a 1 count after all of that offense. LA Park is here to play. And now Dallas Coleman has grabbed the bull by the horns. He might get the tap here. And no, Taurus Fire rolling out of it. That sleeper will put you out and, you know, cost you a hell of a lot of money in chiropractor bills. Fire now going after El Mago. LA Park, anybody in the path of the running bull is gonna get it here tonight in the Super Pro AZTEC Royale. Referee watching the action on the outside for some reason. Match can't end out there, man. What are you doing? LA Park clothesline to the back ahead of Taurus Fire. And now El Mercurio taking it to LA Park. Yamashita with the Tour of the Islands. As the action continues here in the center of the ring. Now the cattle mutilation, will that be enough to get Perez to tap? Can he even tap in that position? I don't know. But we don't find out as Perez manages to snake his way out. Powerbomb lung blower. He's down. He's down. And Yamashita eliminates Alex Perez. That's the first elimination here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And now Dr. Wrestling Jr. in LA Park left alone in the ring. Powerbomb! And not even a 1 count. Dr. Wrestling Jr., man. I mean, he's a doctor. He knows how to maneuver his body to take more damage, I suppose. Taurus Fire rolls El Mago into the ring. Got him up. Suplex face buster. And a running of the bulls. Jr. planting Mercurio in the middle of the ring. Does not want to finish it yet. El Mago looking for something big on Taurus Fire. Looking for something big on the big man. Leaping clothesline. And a moonsault from Dr. Wrestling Jr. Whoa. El Mago scarily close to eliminating Taurus Fire there. Mago coming off the ropes. Modified version of the Bronco Buster there onto the back of Taurus Fire. And now knocking LA Park out as Yamashita tries to grapple with young Dallas Coleman, who, as we see here, has proven himself to be quite the grappler himself. Now goes for the pin on Yamashita. Yamashita might be unconscious from that choke. And he is. He's just coming to now. And now, Dallas Coleman don't want none of Taurus Fire. Taurus Fire now taking it to Dallas Coleman. And LA Park interfering perhaps on behalf of the young man, or perhaps in spite of the young man. It is unclear, as with all things LA Park. And now El Mago continuing his assault. And we are down to 6 men here. So El Mercurio puts down Dr. Wrestling Jr. Goes for the pin. Is that enough to keep the doctor away? No. He's still in this. He's still in this fight. Taurus Fire having a little bit of trouble with the ropes there. El Mago almost getting the pin on LA Park. Now Dr. Wrestling Jr. going up to the top rope. Diving elbow to the back of the spine. The only part of the spine you can hit. To the spine of El Mercurio. Oh, he rolls him up to an inverted figure 4. Mercurio, top rope. Phoenix Splash. Inverted Phoenix Splash, rather. Is that enough to keep Dr. Wrestling Jr. down? Is this enough? And it is, as El Mercurio receives his first pinfall in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Or rather, achieves his first pinfall. And as a reward for it, he gets El Mago's knee driven through the base of his skull. Because that's how we like to reward people here in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Suplex. Oh, there's one. There's two, and I'm willing to bet there's a third amigo. And as I was saying that, young Dallas Coleman once again grabbing the bull by the horns eliminates Taurus Fire. Now, Taurus Fire, of course, in that heavyweight division, also in that heavyweight division, Dallas Coleman's elder brother, Casey. We'll see if maybe there might be some matchmaking opportunities there as we flow down this road. El Mago covers Dallas, almost gets a pinfall. Down to 4 men here. 2 crafty veterans and 2 fresh-faced rookies. Well, presumably fresh-faced. I can't see Mercurio's face. That guy could be like 85 for all I know. But he's a rookie in terms of Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Now up to the top goes El Mago. And a spinning DDT. Coleman now focusing his energies on LA Park. And knocking him out of the ring, knocking him silly. All 4 men now on the outside, Mercurio and Mago covering. Diving crossbody from Dallas Coleman. Coleman now misses with the elbow drop, but Mercurio making up for it, hitting that springboard moonsault instead. Now the two fresh-faced of our 4 finalists facing off. Into that springboard back elbow, not the springboard, cartwheeling back elbow. And we've seen this a couple times here tonight. Dallas Coleman goes for that sleeper. Doesn't get it. Oh, El Mago driving Mercurio's face into the mat. Mago there trying to get Mercurio out of there. Unsuccessful so far, and you're starting to see what I was talking about earlier. These young guys, these guys have not taken a lot of damage throughout their careers, are capable of being just gluttons for punishment. Now, how that's going to look in 5 years, I don't know. But right now, it's one of their biggest assets, as they oppose a couple of crafty veterans. I hear El Mago's even got a kid kicking around somewhere in Canada right now. I don't know what that's about. Mercurio with the sharpshooter. Dallas Coleman trying to get him out of it. Doesn't want Mercurio to get the glory of eliminating LA Park, I suppose. An achievement for everybody involved. Mercurio now covering Dallas. And he gets him out of there. It is now just El Mercurio, El Mago, and LA Park. Handspring back elbow. We saw him going for that earlier. Now 450. Going crazy in the corner. Tosses him down. Moonsault. Alabama slam from LA Park. El Mercurio, perhaps. Well, I was going to say perhaps. The elder two statesmen of this competition trying to align with each other. Does not seem to be the case. With Dallas Coleman finally coming too. Gets him up. Powerbomb! And is that enough? No. Not anywhere nearly. Leg sweep by El Mago. Mercurio starting to get the fight back, using this sort of uneasy backwards alliance between Mago and LA Park against each other. They can't seem to stay on the same page. Mago bringing Mercurio, bounces his head off of the apron. And now bouncing his head off of the Spanish announce table. And hey, why not? Why not eat a Hurricane Rana off to the concrete while you're at it? Mago not sure what he was looking for on the apron there. Hardman's carry. And a spinning back kick, a heel kick straight to the face. If that were in the ring, that might have been the end of it. Three men trading blows on the outside. LA Park, maybe the most reasonable, trying to get the action back on the inside. Major enziguri to the side of the head by El Mercurio. And knocks El Mago to the outside. Mercurio now gets a triangle choke in on El Mago. Change of tactics here. And that is why you don't hold on to triangles, kids. Spinning reverse face buster, neck breaker. Almost gets a 3 count on LA Park there off of a delay. Trips him up. Trying to go for something with the legs there. LA Park wise enough to know that that is a do or die situation. Fighting off whatever submission Mercurio may have had planned. And a hip toss. Get Mercurio back into the ring. And Mercurio knocking him against the ropes like fucking Raymond Deckers. Now, tope con giro. Tope con giro? I forget what all the topes mean. Alright, not gonna lie. But it gets him off. Or rather, he gets him back into the ring. Now, another spinning crossroads. Oh, massive power slam by LA Park, getting Mercurio out of the ring. LA Park capitalizing, eliminating El Mago, and now it is just LA Park and El Mercurio here tonight. Whoa, massive moonsault coming off the top rope for the first time is El Mago, or LA Park rather, forgive me. Please don't hit me with the chair. Mercurio trying to put a stamp on it. And I'm up to a package pile driver. Oh, we're not trying to get eliminations now, folks. We're trying to end careers. And he still gets a 2 count. LA Park is made out of some strong stuff, man. There's the reason why that skeleton's so thick. Curio comes crashing down, and LA Park can tell that it hurts inside. But not enough to get the win. Goodness gracious, I identify with Curio so much right now. As he desperately searches for something to keep LA Park down. Hey, why not another package pile driver? If he can't kick out, if he can't walk. And that is enough. El Mercurio is your Aztec Royale winner in his very first match in the company. Curio here. Well, I tell you, again, that middleweight division. By the way, again, the last winner of the Aztec Royale in middleweight, who then followed it up by winning the middleweight title. So, you know, I don't want to put pressure on anybody, but El Mercurio, the path is pretty laid out for him. Of course, he's not part of a super cool Dragon Cult. Anyway, moving on to our ranked matches this evening, we have Buzz Braddock, Boston's own, versus ESCORPION MURADO, hailing out of Sin City. And you can tell neither of these men having great runs. 1-1 for Braddock, 0-1 for ESCORPION MURADO. And we will have to see how they go.
Making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 175 pounds, Scorpion Murado.
And Curio, known in Japan for being in a tag team with Lobo Dorado. Since coming back to Super Pro, since they've both been competing in Mexico again, and because there is no strict tag division in Super Pro, they have sort of gone their separate ways. We have not seen them in the same ring together since their debut here, which was a losing effort. No, correction, it was a winning effort. That is right, it was a winning effort against the Cosa Nostra, which earned ESCORPION MURADO a match against former middleweight title contender Jose Fernandez, which he promptly lost. But anyway, that is what brings us here as Buzz Braddock makes his entrance.
From Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 200 pounds, Buzz Braddock.
Braddock now embracing the adulation of this Mexico City crowd. That 1-1, not the greatest record in Super Pro. But one of the bigger names, one of the guys who's been around, you know, his past with WWE and WWE films is well documented. We won't go into details about that now. But he is sort of a ringer. He's a guy that is better than his record would suggest. And you could argue the same for Scorpion Murado, which makes this match very interesting because both guys, and you hear this a lot, but both guys really do have something to prove. And you can see that here with a bit of a test of strength to start the match out. And now exchanging some backhands, a little bit of throwing some spinning shit is Buzz Braddock. We're throwing spinning shit now before he pushes Murado back into the ropes. A clean break between the two, but you can tell it's a competitive fire. You know, I wouldn't expect this to stay too friendly for too long. They lock up again, and now it's Murado who's beginning to back Braddock back into the corner. Fairly evenly matched, it would have seemed. Ooh. Flatliner. Buzz Braddock. I think we're done with the introductory remarks, and we are into a full debate of fists and feet. I'm up half and half. Suplex. Up. Front drop kick. Both these guys very fast, very agile, but also very strong, right? You can see Braddock is about 3 inches taller, weighs in right at 5'9", right about 200 pounds. For reference, that's a little bit smaller than former UFC champion Tyron Woodley. He's a little bit smaller than that guy, which is honestly more of a statement of just how big Tyron Woodley is. But anyway, Northern Light suplex there by Scorpion Murado. Goes slow, goes high. Mixing it up to the head, to the body. Makes it a little bit harder to defend. It seems like basic stuff, but everybody likes to headhunt. So many guys, they don't do that groundwork. They don't really enter the body. They don't train that gas tank. And they wonder why everybody defends all their headshots. Covering. Knocks Murado into the corner. Murado back to his feet, and with the Hurricane Rana to the center of the ring. Fast pace being kept by these guys as we move into 3 minutes of our 15-minute contest, as all ranked contests are in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Gut, puts him up. Brainbuster! Now Murado going to the top rope. Spiral tap. Is that enough? Doesn't even go for the pin. He's feeling it. He's feeling the fire. The hype of the crowd. They're chanting Murado, Murado, Murado. Or is that just his mom? Oh yeah, that's just his mom. She's sitting right behind me. That's weird. Anyway. I don't know. Putting Braddock off the ropes. Goes for the kick. Gets caught. Tripped up. Oh, a little bit of a calf lock there. Looks like a variation of the calf slicer by Buzz Braddock. Not particularly known for submissions. We saw there, Murado managed to get out of it pretty easily, but he's giving him something to think about. He's making him think like, okay, now I gotta worry about submissions too. He's not just a striker. He's not just a high flyer. He's not just a work rate guy. He's not just a cardio guy. He's all of these things. He's got the more threats that you present an opponent, the harder it is for your opponent to individually answer all of those threats. There's a 2 count. 1, 2, and another one. They're going back and forth here, kids. Oh my God, it could end at any moment. 1, 2, no, it finally ends. Finally it ends. Some up spinning neck breaker. Side will we see that patented springboard shooting star press, and more importantly, can he get a win off of it? He goes for the pin, and that is enough, ladies and gentlemen. Buzz Braddock breaks into the plus 500 club as he goes 2-1 in Super Pro. Unfortunately, Scorpion Murado falling to 0-2. And you got to think he's got to be in desperation mode now going forth from here. You know, the old rule of thumb in combat sports, you lose 3 in a row, it may be time for you to start looking for new work. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Murado. But again, this middleweight division, it's a bunch of killers. It's a bunch of killers, this middleweight division. You got Mercurio hanging out there. You've got Hiro Ramirez, who undoubtedly wants another crack at his former title. You've got the champion Orochi representing the Dragon Cult as your champion. You've got all these guys. All of these guys. And of course, you have Jose Fernandez, the only member of the Cosa Nostra who doesn't have a belt. That's obscene. That is absurd. The middleweight division might be the most stacked division in Super Pro right now. I feel like that might it's that one or it's the welterweight division. The welterweight division also very stacked. Welterweight division, Babe Dillon, Ikate La Luz, Valencia, Shelly Kimball, bunch of names on that one. But the middleweight division, that might be the best division for the men. That might be where we get our best bout machines coming through. And Buzz Braddock is looking to surge forward in that division of all divisions here tonight and from here on forth. And speaking of the welterweight division, we have Ikate La Luz versus NIKTA, Beast of Belfast, Irish Vader, whatever you want to call her, the sole proprietor of every can of hairspray in Belfast. See later.
Making her way to the ring.
Ikate La Luz making a slight modification to her mask for the entrance here. Ikate La Luz, a former champion. I believe the first former champion to compete. So we will see if she can set a tone how champions recover from losses. She of course lost her title to Babe Dillon after beating, I believe she beat Valencia for it initially. And NIKTA, of course, was also in line for that title shot. She was one of the women campaigning to replace Babe Dillon in the inaugural welterweight championship match. She ended up failing out to Valencia, obviously because of Valencia's resume. But here, she still has a chance to get a win over a previous champion here. I think that'll rocket her to the top, Motley Crue style, as far as the welterweight ranking. very much a, if you haven't gathered it by now, this is very much a clash of styles. You got that Lulu, she's gonna be on the outside, she's gonna be fast, she's gonna be nimble, she's gonna be technical. NIKTA's gonna hit you really, really hard until you stop moving. And also hit the cruiserweight killer, which is weird. I mean, it's a weird way to, you know, brown nose, but hey, when it gets a win, it's a big deal. Oh, of course, NIKTA, very much the larger woman here, but when you add her hair on top of that, it makes it look a little bit cartoonish. The size difference, not the hair. Don't tell her I said her hair looked cartoonish. Please don't. But anyway. Gotta lose now, working over those arms. Getting a little overzealous, gets caught. Drop toe hold. Again, NIKTA, the bigger woman, but she's still a welterweight. She's still gonna be fast. She's still gonna be nimble. She's still gonna be agile. She's still gonna be precise. She's still gonna have a good gas tank. Sling blade! Iha de la Luz just has to be more of those things. Standing corkscrew moonsault. Shades of Babe Dylan. Might be a little bit of shade thrown there. At her former competitor. Goes for the pin off. If it doesn't get anything at all. And a couple of kicks puts NIKTA down. Yep. And face stomping. NIKTA into the mat. I mentioned that NIKTA was going to be the brutal one. That might have been the most brutal match we see. The most brutal move we see here all night. That is a nasty maneuver. I think that's illegal in most places. I know that's illegal in most places. Like, if you did that and claimed self-defense, the cops would be like, nah, man. But, yeah, they would lose. Just doing that, talking about fairy tales and butterflies and pixie dust and whatever the hell it is that she does. She's totally unfazed by the colossal amounts of violence that she unleashes upon her opponents. And now, an inverted triangle. Could this be enough? I say that a lot. Could this be enough? Inverted triangle. Not quite as secure as your traditional triangles. Very unorthodox. A lot of people don't know what is happening until they're already in it, which is why it's an appealing move. But it's not quite as stable. It's not quite as... It's not all reliable like the traditional full guard triangle choke is. But NIKTA now off the top rope and a double foot stomp. I mean, Iha de la Luz weighs like 100 pounds soaking wet. Ew. I can't imagine what her insides feel like right now. Boom! But as I say that, fairy tale ending, knee to the chromium. And no, does not quite get the pinfall there with that large strike. De la Luz now. Backbreaker, neckbreaker combo. Just breaking down the larger opponent. Stopping at the arm. Whoa! And I mentioned before, still welterweight, still quick. NIKTA pulls off the Hurricane Rana counter. I think it's technically a Frankenstein counter. To the back. Clothesline. Punishing Iha de la Luz now, as we have seen quite the momentum shift. And I've mentioned it before, as she hits that cruiserweight killer. I mean, I guess it's a welterweight killer now. And de la Luz brings her right back up. Doesn't go for the pin. Throws her into the corner. Looking for something more. Looking for a bigger move. And that might have been her downfall, but even that might not. Slaps the taste out of De La Luz's mouth. An elbow to the chest plate of Iha de la Luz. Iha de la Luz fighting back with that uppercut. Grab her by the hairspray, kid. Single leg dropkick. And NIKTA's feeling it. NIKTA's fired up. got in mind here. She's going for another one. Another welterweight killer. Goes for the pin. No, not enough. De La Luz. Not taking it lightly. She's not gonna bow before someone else is finished. Now putting her on the top rope. Oh. Oh. So NIKTA just murdered somebody. I'm probably gonna have to like talk to. Oh my God! She kicked out. Whew. I hate talking to the police. I'm really glad she kicked out. I'm really glad she's alive. Not gonna lie. That would have been a real bummer on my day. Kick to the back. Goes under head scissors. Spinning. Takedown. Whoa, and then we saw that running knee strike. Gets pushed away by NIKTA. NIKTA eats a neck breaker. De La Luz celebrating maybe a little early. Maybe a little earlier than she should, and hits another welterweight killer. That is the third one. That's got to be it, folks. That's got to be the end of it. And no. How? How is she? At this point, De La Luz is trying to piss off the owner of Super Pro Championship Wrestling by just kicking out of his finisher whenever she feels like it. Like it's eating a piece of candy. Like it's nothing. And now she gets that inverted triangle again later on in the match. NIKTA's going to be tired. NIKTA's not going to have the energy to fire out of it, and she does. She taps out. She taps out. As the match was approaching its second half, NIKTA just didn't have the energy to power out of the submission anymore. Didn't have the energy to break that inverted triangle. And De La Luz gets one back in the win column. Trying to climb that welterweight ladder. De La Luz. And now, it is a night of welterweight matchups as S.A.M takes on Valencia. Both of these women 0-2 in the division. Not a great standing. Not a great start. And we mentioned it before with Alex Perez, but this is the first time we are seeing this particular version of Valencia in the ring.
To the ring from San Jose, California, Rose.
A woman formerly known as Divina Rose, fighting out of San Jose, California. She's here to dominate. She's here to decimate. She was the final Kingdom Pro Women's Champion and looking, as always, to add to her accolades tonight. But I've mentioned before, she's not been on a good run. She's 0-2. She's ranked damn bottom last in the welterweight rankings. And is almost easily the most decorated woman in the welterweight division. Maybe the most decorated woman in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. She's not a champion, though. She's not a number 1 contender. She's not a number 2 contender. If there is anybody in this company who has a chip on their shoulder right now, it is Valencia. Without a doubt in my mind.
And her opponent, from New York, the Queen.
I'm looking for Sam's record here. Lost Selena Adams back at Super Pro 5. And as the match is underway, that was the loss. She lost to Babe Dillon back at Super Pro 2. Apologies, folks. I am back in the action. S.A.M now looking pretty good here against Valencia. Probably a confidence boost coming in here against a champion, and you've got the same record. A championship quality opponent, rather. You got the same record. You might as well go ham, Sam. Jawbreaker by S.A.M. She reaffirms her control in this match. Samoan driver of a kind. Only gets a 1 count from Valencia. Valencia, for all that she's been in, she's not been steamrolled in these matches. These are competitive, hard-fought matches. And it would be interesting to see if Puerto Rico's own S.A.M can keep up with Valencia in the long haul. Been a lot of moves here so far, a lot of back and forth. Not a lot of sustained, large-scale offense. And again, S.A.M just scooting out ahead, just capitalizing on every little space, every little gap. Every little inch she can take, she turns into a mile. And Valencia looking to correct that as she drives Sam's face into that top turnbuckle. And a little bit of light choking. Just a little bit of light choking. Super kick! And Valencia goes down into the cover. Is it tired or is it arrogant? Either way, Sam kicks out at 1. Emerald Explosion. And that is it. Valencia has her very first win in Super Pro Championship Wrestling. Thank bejesus. Now for Sam, it's back to the drawing board. Alright, for Sam, unfortunately, this does not prove that Valencia is right back into talking for a title shot. Doesn't at all. But it does mean that Sam is very, very much the last ranked woman in Pro Championship Wrestling welterweight division. So this is not really a match of who wins and who loses. It's about who stays alive and who dies. And for tonight, if not for tonight only, tonight, Valencia stays alive. And now we have our most controversial match of the evening, or at least sort of a controversial 1-2 punch, as Alexa Elkins takes on La Asesina for the Junior Middleweight Championship. And why it's controversial is that this is not our main event. For the first time in Super Pro Championship Wrestling history, the title match is playing second fiddle to a non-title match. And some people have said that's because, Asesina is not very much a... how should I say this? Asesina is not very market-friendly. She doesn't talk. She doesn't really have a clear set mantra, or chakra, or goal, or message, or catchphrase, or whatever you want to say. She ain't got it. Right? She doesn't even have a logo. Very difficult to sell. She's only got one win because the junior middleweight division is a little bit messy. It's a little bit messy, particularly between Cristina Munoz and and Kiyoko Romi, sort of having a similar record or the same record, and there's been some discussion whether or not that should be a rematch. But La Asesina is the only other woman who's undefeated in Super Pro Championship Wrestling besides Alexa Elkins, at least in the junior middleweight division. But I think the main reason why this match is not the championship match is because we've seen some weird shit happen in the last 2 shows at Super Pro. Involving this Dragon Cult, the announcement of the Kumite that will determine the future of Super Pro Championship Wrestling. And as a consequence, this match has been pushed to the side because Michael Young called out the Dragon Cult, and he is in our main event tonight. I don't expect that to go down clean. I don't expect that to go down without some say from Drake and his Dragon Cult. But I sort of prove our point. I'm not helping Lex either here. Lex Elkins, a decorated champion. She was champion before Super Pro went to this weight class system. She was the women's champion. And she feels like she's being disrespected. She feels like she's being overlooked.
The challenger. From
And
parts
we will
unknown,
have to see if
the
that
assassin.
affects her performance. Now, some people, she has been vocal in the media talking about how she's going to make an example of Asesina to reestablish her
From
dominance,
Cheyenne,
to reestablish how
Wyoming,
much of a star she is.
the Super
But if you look
Junior
back at
Middleweight
combat
Champion.
sports, you're going to find a pattern where that's not always the case. Sometimes the champion or whoever it is that feels affronted by management, who feels like they're not getting what they deserve, they don't go out there and perform their best. They go out there and they perform distracted. Their heart's not quite in it. And if that is the case, I don't see tonight going well for Lex Elkins. Lex Elkins, when she is on, best in the world, hands down. Only rivaled by Babe Dillon. But when she's not on, she's touchable. And if she's touchable, she can be beaten. And our match here begins. And Lex Elkins immediately, the spinning neck breaker. Maybe she might be able to hear what I'm saying to her. I don't know. Power slam onto La Asesina. It's that side headlock. I've mentioned it before, but you can get a tap from this position. If you've got a good enough squeeze and you're late enough into the match, but we're still early on here. La Asesina's still fresh. Still got plenty of oxygen in that tank. Spinning board buster. Very unique move from La Asesina. Very unorthodox. That might be what she needs. She might need to go outside of what's obvious. Again, they're going, starting off with a, looked like she might have been going for a dragon suplex. Faked it out, went with a reverse DDT. And then staying traditional with the traditional suplex. Elkins there went for that fire. Went for some kind of full Nelson hold. Kicked out of it. La Asesina, not a small woman. Both these women might have the size of difference on Lex Elkins, who frankly could be fighting at welterweight. She wanted to fight at junior middleweight. And while Elkins is strong, there's just going to be a leverage difference, and there's just going to be a physics difference. It's going to hurt more when La Asesina hits. But it doesn't much matter if you're eating a big boot to the chest. As Elkins here proves tonight. Pulling on that mask, cranking that neck. Now brutal shots. Slamming Asesina's head off of the canvas. Elkins. Yeah, maybe that perceived disrespect might have lit a fire under our champion. So off the ropes. And a hip toss. Asesina had a little bit of oh. And does she do it only for the puns? I think she does, as she hits Suplex City. I don't know what the soup is meant to stand for, if you're separating those terms. But regardless, she goes for the pin. And no, not enough to put Asesina down. She will not go down to a pun. And I think we can all respect that. But Elkins now lining up, not even fully in the corner. Hits the spear. It goes for the pin. And as suspected, Lex Elkins storms through her opponent. Lex Elkins now. I don't know what's next for Lex Elkins. This division is tough. No clear contenders for her. Somewhat the opposite problem that the welterweight division and the middleweight division have is what the junior middleweight division has. A lot of your up-and-coming, your middle rankers have eliminated each other from title contention. The one person that is out there She was signed. She's not been booked yet. Is Deanna McKay. Deanna McKay might be the next challenger. She hasn't had a fight yet. That's how absurd Elkins' dominance over this division has been. And now we move on to our main event. Heavyweight contest between Jason McKay and Michael Young. Michael Young, comfortably the #1 contender for that heavyweight title. Yamashita's management not super keen on giving him an immediate rematch. So putting him here in this match here against 5th ranked Jason McKay. Which in most cases, #1 versus #5 isn't the worst thing in the world, but I think a lot of people would have rather seen Michael Young versus Casey Coleman again. Actually, no, I don't think they've had a match. Or Michael Young versus Stasera. Or even Taurus Fire, if Taurus Fire wants to have 1,000,007 matches. Something to note is that this will be Michael Young's 4th ranked match in Super Pro Championship Wrestling, which will put him tied with Taurus Fire for the most matches, most ranked matches in the division. Will that play a factor here tonight with Jason McKay? You know, even Jason McKay with an 0-2 record. Keep in mind he's young. So it's very momentum. One win could change everything for this kid. And keep in mind that he's huge. He's absolutely huge.
Weighing in at 282 pounds, Jason McKay.
And now McKay, the underdog in this matchup by a long shot, is gonna look to create the upset. He's gonna look to take a little bit of rub off of Michael Young's name. And Michael Young has been through some shit lately. If you're watching over in CWL, Michael Young is now a complete lone wolf. He's put Truthless Heroes behind him. I think he's still associated with Colin Piper, but he's put Harris behind him, and he's come at it with a new lease on life. The two men engage. Oh! Flatliner from Jason McKay to start the match. Kick to the back. Okay, coming out hard against Michael Young, and immediately you can see just the size difference between these two. I've mentioned it before. Michael Young drinks water to make the heavyweight limit. Like, he does not cut weight. Jason McKay, not so much. Well, to be fair, there is no upper weight limit for the heavyweight division. McKay is a big boy, and he's only going to get bigger as his career goes forward. And he still towers over Michael Young, but not enough so that Michael Young can't toss him around like a rag doll. Michael Young, similar to our chairman, very strong for his size, which is even more impressive considering he's not a small dude. Spinebuster! Doesn't get a 1 count off of it. And now Flapjack. Jason McKay throws him into the corner. Forearm. And Michael Young right back up to his feet. Coming off a springboard senton. Still not enough to put him away. Kick to the back. Pinned his arm down. Oh! And that's a common problem. When you got long limbs like that, they're very vulnerable. Pretty easy way to get an arm bar. But that's not Michael Young's style. Michael Young's style is power. It's a military press into a military press drop. Jason McKay trying to turn it into a brawl. Gets tossed like a ragdoll instead. And maybe that's McKay's path to victory here, is trying to turn this into a striking contest where he can more properly use his range. Because for all of the disadvantages that Michael Young's height has, and we saw McKay go maybe for that round kick to the head, gets cut off. You know, Michael Young, he's shorter. You know, those tights, those shorts, not entirely unlike Mike Tyson's shorts. And in the heavyweight division, Michael Young, kind of a similar build. He's a little bit smaller than everybody. He gets on the inside. He's got tighter offense. And he's crafty. He knows how to do the most amount of damage in the least amount of time. Jason McKay now taking a minute. Calling Michael Young to his feet. Not double underhook. Butterfly pile driver. And that's a big drop. And you're getting dropped by some guy who's 6'10", 6'9". How tall is Jason McKay? But it's not enough to put Michael Young down. Stop to the arm. Stomp to the other arm. Jason McKay putting in work. Double axe handle to the back, just laying it on. McKay again going for that strike, gets cut off. It's Michael Young staying on the outside. McKay needs to throw straighter shots, more jabs, more straight punches, maybe front kicks, leg kicks, anything to keep Michael Young on the outside. Because right now he's trying to throw these big looping hooks. Every time he does, he gets cut off because Michael Young is closer. He can cut inside. He can deliver stronger shots in a shorter distance. And that is his advantage. He goes for that spinning lariat, that Discord lariat. Discus lariat. Sorry. Jason McKay counters it, but eats a gut wrench. German suplex. Cause troubles. Gets shoulder checked. Gets shoulder checked again. If you need proof of Michael Young's strength, that's it right there. Now Michael Young changing up his tactics, coming off the top rope with a double axe handle, catching Jason McKay off guard. I don't think Jason McKay has to look up to meet his opponents very often. And McKay now with an arm drag. Again, McKay not technically unsound. He's having moments here where he's pushing Michael Young. But then he's having moments like that where, why are you shooting in on a shorter guy? He's not using his height in a way that benefits him the most. Michael Young there, of course, diving off the top rope again. And gets the 3 count off of that diving elbow shot. And this match was just a story of experience. Michael Young using tactics that he knew would work against a guy with Jason McKay's toolset. Jason McKay, you know, he didn't adapt his toolset. His toolset was meant for everybody. And because of that, it couldn't get specific. It couldn't counter the specific problems that Michael Young was offering. And Michael Young holds on to his spot at the top of the Super Pro Heavyweight division here tonight. And he didn't hit that patented lariat. German suplex lariat. Ended up finishing it with a diving attack because that's not what Jason McKay expects. Jason McKay doesn't look up. Young here celebrating his immense victory. And you wonder, what must be next for the heavyweight? How much does he have to prove that he deserves? Wait a minute. That's backstage. That's Pistolero. Who is that? Who's attacking him? That is not any member of the Dragon Cult that I recognize, clearly wearing the colors. But I don't know. And El Dragon Rojo, the second in command of the Dragon Cult, attacking Septimo Hijo. And now Isaac attacking Alex Perez, who appeared in the AZTEC Royale earlier, announced himself for Team Super Pro in the Kumite. Is that what this is about? Are we seeing a move by the Dragon Cult against, and this is we're in the parking lot now, the Ramirez's and Drake. Drake doesn't usually, that's Taurus Fire. Taurus Fire standing with the Dragon Cult. This is absolute chaos, ladies and gentlemen. And there's, holy shit, it's Harris. Good God. Harris, certainly not here to help out Michael Young, but of all people, avenges the attack on Alex Perez. Now we return to Michael Young in the ring, who called out the Dragon Cult a few weeks ago. And now he attacks Ichi and Knee. You're not getting that jump on Michael Young. Maybe the Dragon Cult got more than they bargained for here tonight. They've been running roughshod. And there is Orochi. Wait, there's Matsumoto. He is the former Dragon King. We are seeing, I think the battle lines have been drawn in the sand. Forgive me for using somebody else's gimmick. But I think we know where everybody stands here going in to Super Pro Kumite. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Mark Spencer. Good night.